Live? We're live? I think we are. I think we're good. Hello, friends. Welcome. Sunday afternoon, City Skylines once again, after a couple weeks of it being pushed up Monday or super late at night. So hopefully those of you over in Europe can still participate in some of this stuff. But yeah, I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you weren't here last time, we built this entire kind of a downtown-ish district. I'm not entirely in love with this. We might do a little bit of modifications and see what else we can get this to do. Expanded the airport area a little bit, got trains, specifically cargo trains, hooked up to the cargo terminal and passenger terminal up here. And yeah, stuff is progressing pretty nicely. So we're just going to keep on keeping on and do whatever we can to keep growing things. We've got our passenger and our freight traffic separated into different tracks here. So the freight traffic actually comes all the way up here before it connects to anything else at this little split right here, and then that can go out of town, or it can go up here to our other little freight train station. And then, of course, this connects the passenger rail up to our little hub over here in this suburb area. Then we spent tons of time trying to figure out how to get these train stations to play nice. But they seem to be looking pretty good, doing pretty well right now. So we'll just see what ends up happening. Of course, this underneath here, I believe, has a connection somewhere over here. Yeah, it comes up underground right there and then connects down here and then over here in our little college town. So yeah, goals for today, I would like to try and fix some of this traffic that's been kind of inexplicably bad for whatever reason. I think a lot of it is the cargo traffic in the port here, which is going to necessitate us moving the port down to probably right about here, building a new one, then having a freight road for trucks coming in this way and making sure... What in the world is happening here? Okay, these guys are trying to get in to this spot, aren't they? Anyway, that's what we'll do. We have a cargo harbor that also has a rail connection, which should help us substantially with that if we go into our ship area. Cargo hub. This is what we want. So we have to kind of redraw our shipping routes to support this and then decide exactly where we want our cargo harbor to go. And I think this general area would be smart, but we also need to keep in mind connecting to the trains, which is... I actually don't know where on this asset the train tracks come in. So let's take... Oh, really? It's right there in the front? Alright, that's going to be a problem. So we're going to need to do a little bit of terraforming here. Because remember, this is our freight rail right here. So we can just have a spur come off of that and probably be fine. But we'll probably need to have some of this land moved down a little bit, keyed, kind of like how we used to have this, and then, of course, this cargo harbor is going to go away. I'll probably still leave this road here, but we're not going to need to have all of the freight traffic coming in this way. It's clogging up all of this entire road here. But if it's all connected to freight-only road, we can have that go there. And then possibly, depending on how the rest of this is looking, we could even have the freight road come all the way down here, depending on all that stuff. But I did want to try and keep this island not entirely just turned into a disaster of the cargo ships and everything. This is really, really high up. I would rather it be a little lower like that so the ships don't look quite so ridiculous. So I think what we'll end up doing is coming in here with our level terrain tool. Picking a spot, even just right here, and moving this whole thing down a little bit. Probably make the brush size a little smaller. So I think the idea that we want to get into is, well, not to flood everything. I don't know why this is always like that whenever we do any sort of terraforming. We just want to lower this a little bit more, I think. And then figure out some way of having this integrate nicely with the rail traffic. So if we actually make this kind of straight, I think we stand a pretty decent chance of making that look nice. So we'll see if that is any better. Let's see. We can always manipulate this as necessary to get it to sit in the right spot, which I believe we'll end up just doing now. See if we can move this. Ah, see, I don't want that to be high, though. I need it to go down. I think that's about where it needs to be. Maybe a little bit more like that. That's a much more reasonable height for cargo ships. Then we just have to get the rails to do their thing. I always want to click on the roads to do that. So what we'll do here... Now, how is this... Oh, I still have that set to viaduct height. No, we want that to be that height. Looks like that's good. And then I just want to make sure this is straight. So we'll come out, say... was that 11 units? Now, is this also going to be 11 units if we connect here? Wow, okay, we actually did very, very well getting that to be completely straight. So that is good to see. We're going to have to make some sort of a little Y connection here to get the rail to go into here and over here, although maybe we don't care. Maybe we want to just leave this as a import-export separate from import-export here, just different methods. Well, if that's the case, then all we have to do here is figure out some way of, that actually doesn't look bad like that. As long as the rail connects, that's about all we can ask for. So we come out to here, then I think we can just give that a nice gentle curve. Although in this case, it's probably actually better to come out to here. Alright, that doesn't look bad. Yeah, I think we can live with that. So then we just have to have this connected to a road. Cargo road. Actually, this isn't perfectly straight, but I don't think I care. I think we're fine. So what we'll do now, this road needs to be on the other side here. Which we could easily do. Is this the 4-lane or just regular 2-lane, I think? Yeah, that's the one-way. So if that's just a loop, then we're probably okay doing this as a highway. Industry highway. Although I don't know that we need to have the highway. I don't know, I kind of just want to redo all of this, to be perfectly honest with you. I think this is a little less than ideal. It's not like the capacity is ever overwhelmed except at these specific points right here where everything, and I do mean everything, is trying to get to everywhere at the same time. So, to that end, if we don't want to do industry highway, honestly, we probably just need to do the regular industry road. Just have it be medium and go right next to the trains. And then we'll just need to get this to connect up nicely here. Alright, so now that is... Why is that so high? That doesn't need to be that high. Yeah, this all needs to be about the same level. There's really no Really no reason for that, honestly. But I was more worried about getting the bridge done here. So if that goes... Yes, I don't know what it is about this thing. It always wants to have stuff be in the worst possible height to anything. So I guess what we'll do... Oh, it's so hard for me to see these. We'll just get every single node and then average the height out between them. And that should take care of what we're looking at here. Let's do... That actually raised those. Ah, that's the problem. So this all needs to go down. Well, not all of it. Okay, I messed up. I did not highlight the correct things. So that was on me. So this needs to be way, way down here. It needs to be like the same height as the track. Yeah, see, that's what we want. That's what we actually want. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's undo. Let's just only do nodes. And just highlight all of these. Again, we'll try. And then do slope objects. That should... Really, that's still not going to get us to what we want to do. Do I just not understand anything about this game? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I just am not good at this. This is why part of this is a little bit more appealing to do as a video series where I can actually take time to edit stuff. And not just completely make a fool of myself every time I open the game. Alright, so this actually looks a lot better like that. It's still not perfect. But it has, I think, kept most of what we're looking for here. Alright, so this needs to continue this way. And then some sort of a... assuming this isn't stupid again. Yeah, we'll just follow the road here. I think I have this set up correctly. All right, so obviously we want this road to be we want this road to be the other thing, and I don't remember how I did that before. I didn't do it in this live stream, so don't expect me to have already shown you guys that I did it, but there's some tool that separates the road, and I do not remember what it's called, which is irritating. But I think... I probably don't even have it installed anymore, honestly. But there was one of these things that did it, and I don't remember what it was. It wasn't Bob. I don't think it was Game Anarchy, was it? No. I don't know. It's probably something I should have figured out before doing live stream today, but you know how this goes. Alright, so here's what we'll do instead, since this doesn't seem to want to let me actually do anything. Let's just make this into regular old industry road. The same as it's always been. And then just have this connect to the backside, like so. So I guess that's what we'll want to do. I'll just leave straight right there. Hey, Kurt. Currently fumbling my way through attempting to understand how to play the game that I've been playing forever. You know how this goes. So trying to get this to do a nice, even curve here. 20 units. If I go up like that. See, but then it doesn't want to let me do anything. It's annoying. So it's probably actually better if I do one of those and then just connect that way. No, see, that's too far. That's too far. That's too far. So I guess it just doesn't want to let me do any of this. So that's still not a sharp enough angle. It's almost like I have to have the turning point for the curve to be something else. See, that looks okay, but now this is... That's not what I want here. So I think I can just move that. Or I can just say deal with it. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know. I think I have to do it in one curve. Curved Road Simulator 2023. That's where we're at. Still not in love with this. But I think I can get it pretty much where it needs to be. Enough, at least, where we can move on with our lives. Hi from Sweden. Hello, welcome. Late Sunday evening, almost Monday. Okay, so now this is actually properly connected with the road. Goes all the way parallel to the train tracks. And then we just have to connect up here. Alright, so let's do some of this. Then this is actually a different level. I thought I got it pretty close, but I guess not. So what's going to end up happening here is this is not going to be a one-way anymore. This down here will have to be upgraded to a two-way highway. And then that can become that again. We'll just not worry about it and just make that into a two-lane, two-way again. I don't think it's going to matter. So we just want to connect this up like so. I don't even know if we need to have that road in like that, but I guess that's okay. Raise that up a little bit. Okay, that works. Excellent finale of the Drowned map. Actually watched the VOD, but 4 hours. Okay, yeah, good for you. No, that was a lot of fun. We had a very, very good time. I think we can be pretty satisfied with how that's laid out. Alright, so let's put our water pipes under the road, right where they belong. Well, mostly under the road, right where they belong. Oh, it doesn't let me actually curve these. Okay. Well, that's fine. And then power-wise, should just go ahead and probably just stick this over here this way. It's not going to let me... there we go. That should work power-wise. Alright, so now they're complaining there's no stuff. Oh, we have to fix the shipping routes. That's the one thing we haven't done yet. Okay, ship path. Maybe this is actually connected. I'm not sure. Let's select our node here we want to connect to. I guess we could just do that. Should be okay, I think. Yeah, now this just has to connect, because this way, the only way the road can even get to anything is up here. I think this should start clearing up as soon as we unmessify all of this garbage right here. Though we might need to force people to stop using this. I think we'll just get rid of this port altogether. Just say bye-bye to all that, which means we actually don't need this to go here anymore, because nothing's coming over here. Which means, what was this? Waste transfer facility? This actually probably doesn't need to, oh, it's not empty, so we can't get rid of it. So this highway here, between these two, does not need to exist. Might still keep it, though. But we can actually have this road right here. Let's see if I can get this to let me see underground. Can use our favorite node forcing thing here. Let's see, 2-lane. There we go. Regular with that. All right, now that's hideous. Bad. All right, let's bring that back up. Cool, so that actually looks much better, like an actual road is supposed to look. So I think what we'll do is we can actually bring this road out this way. See if this even wants to let me do this. Might have to just go in freeform mode. Just connect that there. Yeah, let's do that. Straighten that out a tiny bit, and then we can get rid of this road entirely. There we go, and then this can get moved onto this road like it's supposed to be. So now this all connects. This is still a regular industry road. And this should also still be an industry road. And then I think we're going to want to have another connection. Oh, who's driving this? Some regular dude working at the cargo terminal. Okay. Here comes a actual cargo train. So it is working. It's just a little bit less than ideal. But it is working. So hopefully that helps divert some of the weird traffic we've been having. So I think that's fine like that. We just wanted this to be upgraded road-wise. These are all the 4-lane small roads. No, we can upgrade all of these to the medium industry roads. Yes, then this needs to be upgraded. Alright, so then that's good to go there. Industry highway. It's probably fine. Yeah, this really is not a perfect example of how to do stuff like this, but should end up being fine. We'll just get this to the correct size. That was already that way. Now it's going to get angry with me here if we were to do that. Actually, we could probably just leave this alone because this was already 4 lanes. It was just the compact 4 lanes. So in the interest of preserving all of this stuff, I think we just leave that alone. It can go to the regular 4 lanes. That can get fixed there. Okay, so this is fine. So now we have to go underground here. Where is this? Give me underground view. Alright, so that needs to go. Of course it's not going to let me. Come on. How do I force underground camera without being in... what is this? Contour lines? No, don't care about that. Maybe I just have to, there we go. Because that needs to be... Good. So that is kind of an abomination in terms of how tunnels work, but that's fine, I suppose. Can I lower this node at all and make that look slightly less awful? Maybe. The world may never know. Just trying to make this not be completely ridiculous in terms of how it descends. Whereas this right here probably should have always been down like this, just because of the way the terrain works. In fact, this shouldn't be going up at all to go into a tunnel. It should be probably right about like that. That looks a lot more realistic, I think. Still not totally in love with the train stuff here. Because this, honestly, all of this right here should probably be ground level, as far as the trains are concerned. So if we were to do that... Okay, let's force ground. Upgrade. Okay, well, no, that is not... That's not what I wanted. No, we need to level this first. That was the problem. Why ground level? That's perfect for housing? No, I'm not putting housing in the middle of the freeway. What kind of hellscape do you think this town is? That doesn't sound fun at all. Yeah, because this has to be... Okay, I don't need this one. Oh, are you serious? Okay, the selection tools in this game kind of suck, honestly. I'm just trying to lower these down. It doesn't want to play ball with me here. So I want this and this and this. Just need to pick a spot here where it's most likely going to be flat. Alright, so if I slope those, should bring most of this down to about the right level. Just about. So that should be a little easier now to put everything on the ground level. Now get out of this. Force ground. Then we can just adjust the rest. Alright, so that looks a lot better to not have these crazy viaducts everywhere. So now we just have to kind of individually change all of these nodes to be about the correct height based on how everything else is set up. And then I think we'll end up at some point sloping these a little bit better. I just don't want it to look quite so ridiculous. Because a lot of this is just really, really bad. Okay, yeah, and this is no need to be this high. This can go down. This can go down. But not a ton. Yeah, so this is fine. Plenty of realism there. Bring that down. This can actually come up a tiny bit, if that's the case. And then this just turns into its own little viaduct here. That can go down one. And I think this is going to be fine. If we take a look level-wise, that's actually pretty good. As far as what kind of hellscape, you just raised the hill in a way that God really didn't mean for the hillside to be raised. Fair. That is pretty funny, though. Alright, so I think that was a net improvement. Let's see. Those are cargo highway. It's actually being used, kind of. Alright, and the ships are coming through here. Still a little high. We probably should have lowered that some, but I think it's fine. So now we need to put in some services here, like a waste transfer facility. Easily can go next to this, and then we'll put in police and fire, because you always have to have that stuff. I wonder if we could just put a little little service road here. That's probably fine. So I think if we have this here, that should... I'm not going to go all the way up, but that should be enough to put police and fire on. One of these I know is small. Okay, no, so that needs to actually be one more over. Alright. So instead of there, it can go here. Come on. Let me go in the right spot. Thank you. Alright, that works. Honestly, it would be impossible to be truly realistic when it comes to gradients with trains. They need, yes, absurd length for getting any elevation. I think, and 2% probably in most cases is a bit extreme. I know, especially for high speed, they basically want almost no gradient and no curve whatsoever if it's going to be operated at like the maximum travel speed. So that's why you have, well, I know Japan's like all mountains anyway, so it's kind of impossible for them to avoid. But the high-speed rail project in California that's happening right now, which is its own entire can of worms that doesn't really warrant discussion here about all the problems they're having, but they have been building a lot of viaducts above ground just so they don't have to deal with the... I'm making hand motions that no one can see because I don't use a camera, but so it doesn't have to go up and down as much. They can just adjust the height of the viaduct versus having the actual rail bed go up and down and up and down and up and down. But I digress. So this should be good. We now have a waste transfer facility down here that we're probably not going to need, honestly. But I did want to also put in a little bit of a like a storage hub, kind of like what we were starting to do over here with the large warehouse. We can put a couple smaller warehouses. Because, like, look at this mess. These people are all trying to get through here. Makes sense, honestly. Better to make a 2-kilometer bridge than a... Yeah. So, it's, high-speed rail is a very interesting problem to solve. Because it kind of breaks all the rules of traditional rail infrastructure. At least in terms of how it's typically designed in the U.S., right? Because most of our rail infrastructure is the same, well, not the same exact tracks. They've been upgraded, replaced in most cases, but it's the same routing as when they first put trains here in the 1800s. So stuff has like really, really bad grades and really tight turns, and it goes through the middle of towns that at one point were just a train station and a post office, and now have, I don't know, tens of thousands of people. So you have these giant freight trains clogging up an entire town for hours at a time because it blocks all of the level crossings for like a mile and a half, because the freight railroads here want to run a 2-mile-long train with one guy up front, and you can't do that. You got to have shorter trains, but they make more money if they have one longer train versus 5 shorter ones. So that's what they're going to do. Anyway, I digress. The infrastructure here does not support high-speed rail travel at all. It has to be pretty much purposely built for it, which is what the California high-speed rail is doing. There's a group in Texas trying to do that as well, but they're not having quite as much success. And then there's a private company in Florida called Brightline that I believe is partly owned, either is or was at one time partly owned by the Virgin Corporation that Richard Branson's associated with. but don't quote me on that. I know at one point they were involved. I don't know if they still are. But they've been, Brightline specifically has been attempting to put in 150 mile an hour, quote unquote, high speed service. It's not high speed, but they've been trying to put that in for years. And they just now, I think, finished doing all the track upgrades where they took old freight railroad from the 1800s and replaced tracks, straightened stuff, put in parallel tracks so they can actually run at the same time as freight trains. And that was billions and billions and billions of dollars of private money to do it. And the trains can still only go 150 miles an hour. It's fine. It's just kind of a mess here. And then you have, of course, almost everybody in Europe has some sort of high-speed train that's actually high speed, goes, I don't know, what, 300 kilometers an hour? I know the French have the TGV that goes, I think actual real speed that they see in service might be like 350 or something. Kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. That's insane to go that fast in miles per hour on a train. I'm actually going to look this up while we're sitting here. 320 kilometers per hour. I'm sorry. Yeah, but anyway, point being, rail infrastructure in the U.S. is just deplorably bad because it hasn't been invested in, because why would a company want to spend money to upgrade something that only, you know, kills people a few times a year and has these toxic spills and all this other stuff? No, they shouldn't have to upgrade that. It's not a public safety obligation. Anyway, all that to say, we're going to do a little bit more upgrading in this area, level this out some, and put in another kind of little cargo hub here. All right. So we've got unique factories and we've got warehouses. I think we could probably, for now, just put in a couple of small warehouses. We'll get this. Probably is fine to just leave like that. We'll do our regular 2-lane industry roads, or we could upgrade them possibly to small 4-lane. I think for right now this will be fine. Just have this go completely straight here, come out that side, and then see what ends up fitting. Because I know at one point we had a pretty good setup down by the airport. Ah, yeah, that's almost perfect, actually. I think we can be pretty happy with this. We'll just have this set to store zoned industry forestry products. And then we'll do farming products. We don't have any ore stuff yet. I think we just have forestry and farming. But commercial zones, and then commercial zones is probably fine. And I think we can just have this connect on the back side. Actually, we need to make this a little shorter. So let's try that, see if that works. All right, cool. So that is probably about as good as we're going to get for right now. Put the pipes under the road right where they belong. And good. So we should see trucks start to come down here to try and fill this up and import, export, all that good stuff. Weekend house, not sure else to call out. It's close to the city, but far enough so there's no pollution. It's right next to train tracks. And literally today we were saying, thank God we don't have freight trains like in the U.S. Yep. Our trains are like the ones we can see in the game. Well, yeah, because I think it's the developers are Finnish, maybe? Otherwise, we'd have a half-hour train noise. Yeah, you don't see the really short local freight trains in the U.S. unless you're on a, I guess what you would call a branch line from one of the major railroads. Otherwise, it's just a disaster. Yeah, I don't like freight trains in the middle of towns on old tracks. It could have saved a lot of lives, like where the trains missed. Yeah, so that, again, is a product of the system in which we find ourselves in the U.S., where the companies are motivated solely by profit and not actual social responsibility. But that's the way it is. We really should have the major freight arterial stuff should be probably completely in the middle of nowhere, honestly, not running through towns, but they don't want to pay to build new tracks, and I don't know, I can't blame them. So that's what you got. In Serbia, we just got our first line going 200 kilometers an hour, and that was like, wow, much future, yay. So that's, I think in miles per hour, that should be like 120, 125, I think, if my math is correct. Maybe slightly closer to 130. So we have, there's only a couple places in the U.S. where our national passenger rail, Amtrak, goes any faster than, okay, well, before like 3 months ago, there was only one place that went faster than 90 miles per hour, which would be, what is that, 150 kilometers an hour? But that was in the space between Washington, D.C. and New York City, which is a track that the Amtrak, the National Passenger Rail Corporation, owned. Or I guess I should say subsidized by the government. It's not strictly speaking owned by the government. It's technically a separate corporation, but it does get a lot of government funding. They own the track there, and that is actually rated for, I think, 160 miles per hour, and they run quote-unquote not actually high-speed electric trains, if you compare them to what the French or the Spanish have, or especially what Japan has. They're not high-speed, but for America, they're high-speed. And they just now in, I think it was Indiana, Illinois, somewhere in the American Midwest, they just upgraded some of the tracks there. Oh, we're missing water availability. We should do something about that. But they upgraded tracks there just recently to support 110 miles per hour. That's one of those things that's like, wow, we're just now getting to the point where that's something that's possible. Well, that's what happens when companies aren't incentivized to, do the right thing. But that should help us out on water availability. Sewage capacity is getting up there. But I believe having this industry highway in place here to go up down to this should help us out quite a lot in terms of traffic elsewhere. Yeah, because right now this is no longer completely overloaded, which means, okay, well, this is still kind of a mess. I don't know where these people are trying to go. This monorail needs to go away because we're not going to really be having any of that anymore. So this is 6 lanes. This is also 6 lanes. Let's upgrade this. I think we just had regular 6 lanes. But we do have the ability to do 6 lanes with bus lanes and bike lanes. But I don't think we need to worry about that right here. I think we'll just upgrade these. Why is it? Oh, okay, because there's a park there. All right, well, problem solved. So I think they're getting bottlenecked at this thing right here. And this is 4 lanes here, so I think we can safely terminate the 6 lanes at this intersection. And we'll just get rid of that. And then have this connect right there. Alright, so monorail's gone. Rest in peace, the monorail. Not really. It was kind of a disaster, but that should help our traffic situation rather substantially. And I'm not really in love with this either. I feel like we probably should have done something about this a long time ago. But we didn't. Won't lie, Serbia is too small for real high-speed rail to be effective. Yeah, there is a threshold at which high-speed rail stops actually being worth it. And at least according to what I've read, the things that I've looked up, it tends to be in the U.S. by our standards for prioritizing rail corridors for future expansion and all that. It tends to be about anything less than a 3-hour drive. People aren't really going to want to take the train to get between 2 spots, which of course is going to be different than anywhere else because we don't have walkable cities for the most part. You pretty much have to have a car to go anywhere, anytime, ever at all, unless you live in New York City or a really small town, and I mean really small, where you could literally just walk anywhere from your house in less than 30 minutes probably. So people don't want to take a train to another city if they have to still have a car to get around where their destination is, unless the traffic is so bad that you would do anything to avoid driving. So that's why you have the Las Vegas to Los Angeles high-speed rail that people have been trying to do forever and ever and ever, and is now under construction from the same people that do the Brightline project in Florida. The same company is doing a lot of investment in that route between Las Vegas and LA, except the problem there is that route can't... Oh, look how much better this looks without being super high. That's just ridiculous. That route can't really have any chance of succeeding unless it connects properly to LA, which it kind of doesn't, because they can't get track rights to go into LA. They'd have to build their own things, and that would cost way too much money. So instead, they're stopping in a community called Rancho Cucamonga, which is probably about as far from LA as... Actually, I'm going to look it up, because it's not close. It's, well, distance-wise, it could only be 20 or 30 miles, but to drive that in a car would take you a couple hours, which is not fun in LA. It's very, very unfun. So I think what we'll do here, we need to lower this back down, or maybe we just kind of want to leave it as it is. I don't know, I kind of like having some of this be separate, but this section right here definitely needs to be on the ground. So this is, looks like, come on, where is that thing? That road? Yeah. So that is probably okay up to there. And then this side back here, that is probably fine like that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, to your original point, I'm not admittedly an expert on all of the European geography, but I don't remember Serbia being that big of a country. So it doesn't seem like high-speed rail would work very well unless it was connecting you to the capital of another country, in which case it would probably actually be very good. So you do much better in that situation to have higher speed commuter rail that gets up to somewhere around 100 miles per hour or whatever the equivalent in kilometers is, instead of the super slow inner city stuff that only will go maybe at best 100 kilometers an hour, or about 60 miles per hour. New line joins the two biggest cities that are already less than 100 kilometers apart, so it makes it easy to live in one. Yeah, no, that's good. It's just a matter of, is that the most efficient way to connect those two things? Personal stream today, VIP. Yeah, man, this is why you show up to streams. You get unfettered access to me while I'm fumbling my way through city skylines like an idiot. No, we have a good time. I like these streams where we just talk. It's fun. So let's move that. No, that's bad. I didn't want that to go all that way. I just need this to connect a little bit better. A little bit. I think this is fine. Now, one thing we have not done is we've not put a bus going to the campus yet. And I was trying to decide whether I wanted to do a dedicated bus lane going all the way over here, but I just don't think it's necessary. Like, if we went to the 6 lane, they do have one with a median and bus lanes, or you can have this one with just no median. But if we were going to do that, then we'd probably want this whole thing to be... Actually, no, that's probably not that bad of an idea. Because we do have bus lanes here. Yeah, the Peanut Roundabout is... it's not having a good time. Oh my god, look at this. That's a disaster right there. Serbia is 279 miles north to south and 160 miles west-east. Yeah, you're about the size of the state I live in. Maybe. by total area. Wish there was a high-speed train Trans-Canada if I want to cross. Yeah, so the Canadian on Via Rail I know is a very, very long train journey, but also high-speed train through the Canadian wilderness sounds like something that would be super expensive to build. And when you have cross-country flights, it's economically speaking, it's not viable. But it would be really cool to have, at least between major population centers, to have a little bit higher speed rail than what you guys have up there. Or even just have, I don't know, I think Amtrak discontinued the service between Seattle and Vancouver when COVID started. I don't know if they brought that back or not. Yeah, Quebec City to Vancouver would be wild as a high-speed train. Well, high-speed rail, if we're going to define high-speed rail as like 180 miles an hour or higher, about 300 kilometers an hour, then that would, by the time you finish point to point, that really wouldn't be that much faster than flying. Because you count the time on the ground at the destination airport and the origin airport and time going through security, assuming a flight speed of about average of about 400 some miles per hour. Probably a little faster than that in the air, but you have to factor in the time on approach when you have to slow way down and then on ascent to climb out and all that stuff. So theoretically it might be about the same amount of time, but you'd also have to build that infrastructure, and the amount of people that live in Canada probably would not support ridership, unfortunately. I love trains. I love high-speed rail and all of that stuff. But I am also depressingly realistic when it comes to stuff like that, and I just don't see a way for that to make sense, unfortunately. I do wish they would, though. What is happening here? Why are these people like this? One of my dreams is to travel along the Trans-Siberian Railway. That would be awesome. What does it take, like 10 days or something? That would be really cool. Hey, welcome. We're laughing at my terrible traffic problems in this city that I caused by having bad transit infrastructure. Airport's working well, though. Russian trains are so interesting because they use the wide gauge track and rolling stock, and it's pretty much incompatible with almost anywhere else in the world, so that they had to develop all their own stuff. It's actually really cool. Faster by car, yeah, I bet. Because of all the line change by trains, about 2 days by car, 3 days by train. Still be faster by air. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about automobile first societies, is they're going to prioritize cars, and it's always going to be the better option, even if it's the worst option. Holistically, it's always going to be the best one just because that's the priority for funding and legislation and infrastructure development. I gotta figure out why in the world this is so stinking bad. So these people are coming up through here. Why are they not taking the highway? That's what the highway is for. That is just why. Why are people like this? They should not be coming down this way. Or maybe they're coming down that way because this is clogged. I don't know. Let's see. These are all trams that are trying to get through. But people are driving, emergency services are driving in the tram lanes. The trams can't go anywhere because there's other trams, which can't go anywhere because there's people in the tram lanes. Yikes. So I think how we solve that is we turn this into a tram-only street. 2-lane, where's my tram-only? Because I have somewhere, there's a special road just for bus or tram only. And I don't think it's a pedestrian, maybe it is. So, trolleybus wires, huh? So if I do that, then all those cars have to go away. Oh, that has trolleybus wires. It doesn't actually have tracks, tram tracks. That's what we had to do. I hope my tram lines didn't get messed up as a result of that. I have the feeling they might have been. In-country flight and trains are so expensive. Montreal to Paris is cheaper than Montreal to Toronto. Really? Well, I imagine the Montreal to Paris route is probably heavily subsidized as a international trade route. What? Okay, what transit line is crying here? Let's, that is... What is orange? I don't have trolley... Okay, no, it fixed itself. Alright, we're good. So if this is pedestrian street exclusive, that's probably actually better. Montreal, Paris is probably subsidized so Quebec can stay French. Yeah, that would probably make sense. So let's see if that helps at all, eliminating this traffic, because that's what was stopping the trams from being in the correct spot. So if you get the trams moving, then the vehicles that are following the trams don't get stuck, and stuff probably gets better. Except now we have these trams, or articulated buses, excuse me, are getting stuck in the bus lane. Come on, let me click on the X. Alright. I think this should eventually clear itself out. We might just have to wait for a little while, see what happens. Yeah, I can hear the buildings upgrading, so I think we're okay. So what's happening here is these waste transfer trucks. Yep, they're going to get trash. That's the problem. We have these bus-only lanes here. These people, where are you trying to go? You're trying to go up. Oh, okay. Well, you're fine to go there then. That's alright. Okay, they're already driving out of the city. What are you doing down here? Man, nobody's coming down here. So I think it's just a backup from all the tram stuff being clogged up, because all these people are trying to turn. Nobody wants to go straight. I love that people are just walking and using this as it's supposed to be used, when before it was just such a complete disaster. Okay, alright. No airport in real life is going to have 3 planes on the runway at the same time. That is super danger. That is, that's a bad idea. Okay, so this is, I think, operating pretty well. I don't see any huge backups here. Obviously, some of this is going to be kind of inevitable. That's coming out here. This isn't backing up. It's just getting on the highway. And then it gets stuck in this huge, huge backup. Because all of these people are trying to turn. So they shouldn't all be filling this. Maybe this needs to be more than 3 lanes. I was trying to avoid that because I think it's ugly to have the additional lanes on there, but this is completely backed up. What a mess. But at least this is kind of cleared out a little bit. Yeah, the kind of language war Quebec has always been very interesting to me. And it does kind of come across like what you're saying about them trying to suppress English rather than uplift French. I don't know, it's not my place to comment on any of that. That's not my culture. But it is interesting to see all of the different things and hear stuff from people about it. So it seems like this is finally clearing out a little bit. So this should not be a stop here. So I don't know why, unless this guy is trying to... No, he's just chilling. Historically speaking, it is very difficult to maintain an enclave of one language in a nation dominated by another one. Yes. Which, fun fact, America does not, legally speaking, have an official language. It's just English has dominated so much. But it's not like a codified official speak this or you die language like some other countries have. Yeah, and there's stuff to be said about the consequences of globalization and foreign policy spreading language and taking over native culture and stuff. That obviously there's a lot of very bad things about that. But it is interesting to see just how fast something like that proliferates across the world, even in the past, I don't know, 50 years since commercial air travel really became accessible to most of the world. Since sometime in the 70s or 80s. It's wild. Really, really fascinating to study. Alright, so this is still... Oh, God, this has gotten even worse. Because all these people are all trying to get off right here. So why has this stopped here? Is there some sort of a... Let's just make that straight through. They have to change the lanes somewhere else. Oh God, you got the Latin, you got the Spanish language soap operas too. We got a whole channel. I don't know anybody that watches those, but we have a whole channel on our cable services here that just plays those all day. Fun fact: only Newfoundland have both languages as the official language. All the other provinces except Quebec have English as the official language, but Canada as a whole have both. That is interesting. Like, obviously, you're not going to find as much French-speaking happening in some place like British Columbia. Well, British Columbia ought to give you a clue on that one. But, I don't know, it's just very, very interesting. And even in, like, places that have traditionally not been British or American or whatever imperial strongholds, English is starting to really dominate because it's the de facto language of world trade and the US dollar. I actually watched a very interesting video about the proliferation of the US dollar in terms of an international currency and how China's trying to get on top of that and switch people over to their stuff instead. I just imagine it as an island version of Maine. Well, I haven't been to either of those, so I guess I can't comment, but like to go. That seems very interesting. All right, we got to do something about this. So this is just a mess. This is quite the mess. But I don't know how to force people to stay out of the left lane. We don't have any buses coming down here. I think it's just trains. I don't think we even have subway at all. Pretty sure the intermodal transportation here is just trains. The subway here goes to these things and it doesn't really seem like it's actually working. But they say they're operating normally. I just never see any planes parking here. Meanwhile, they put a A380 in a medium plane stand. I don't think that's where that goes, but that's fine. So some of these people just need to get off at this next exit up here at the Peanut Roundabout. But they kind of don't want to, I don't think. Traffic flow has substantially improved, though. It's just the problem of all these people want to get off at the exact same thing, and none of them, they won't use both lanes. Which I guess makes sense because they don't all want to turn left. Maybe this needs to be 3 lanes of an off-ramp, too. That might honestly be what has to happen. Let's see what happens if I make that into 3 lanes. So is this 2 lanes, 3 lanes? So we do that. Oh, that's still okay. Hold on. I gotta fix gotta fix that. So if we do that, so we could actually have, with our lane manager, we could have all of these turn in here. And this could be, I don't know why anyone would ever want to go straight here, but that could be a good straight. So that gives them 2 lanes to turn right. hopefully that helps free it up a little bit. Looks like that might be helping. Is there another node here that they can actually change lanes at? Yes. Okay. So that's probably fine. This is already 3 lanes, and one of those is a bus only. So no surprise there. So this should... So this is where this starts to become dangerous because the bus only lane's on the left, but the bus only lane here is on the right. So they have to cross over each other, and it's some sort of horrible disaster. And look at that. Just like that, all that traffic cleared up because we had 2 lanes to turn right. Alright, capacity improvements. This is still kind of a disaster up here. So that's eternity. Very good. That's fixed, I think. 66%. This is still really backed up. But now really the only problem we have is... this is just industrial traffic. That's fine. Right here, this has been kind of bad for a while. But I wonder how much of this is just too many buses going in and out and actually causing traffic. So let's take a look at our public transit here. I think those are the articulated buses, the West Side Express. So these are actually pretty much all full, and we still have this many people waiting. But I don't know. Yeah, so this is just traffic. That's all it is. So we got 2 lanes and a tram track, but everybody's trying to turn left, and it just kind of backs up. This is effectively 1 lane and tram tracks. So I don't know. I don't really know what to do about that. Why is this grass burned? Did somebody light the school on fire? Hey, William. Welcome back. We're in the middle of a public transit nightmare here. Trying to figure out how to stop things from clogging up so bad. So we have so many of these buses, and they're all full. We have so many buses, and they just can't keep up with capacity. So that's why we talked last time about maybe putting Metro up here, running another Metro line, because this area could definitely use it. And we have the ability, we have this line's going here, but we don't have anything connecting here. So what I was gonna do, so I was going to redo all of our Metro tracks and have this side connect to maybe here, and then this and a new station up here connect. So we gotta find a place to put a metro station, ideally somewhere around here where we have all of these tram stops. And I think this is just regular commercial, but let's come back out and see. This is just some regular suburban house crammed in between. That, no, that can't go there. Let's take a look at what kind of metro stations we want. That has a cross piece. Actually, if we had a cross one, we could have them connect here, but we also have the rail up here, so I'm not super worried about that. Parallel metro station, that's 2 tracks. I don't think we need to do that. Where's my ROJ stuff? They had some good metro stations. This was the small metro terminal, ROJ. That's ground stations. This is bus depot. And this one was the small metro entrance. Oh, that's real small. I don't think there's a capacity. Are you serious? That can go right there? Oh, look how small that is. Oh, that's so convenient. Oh, okay. All right. That's a cheat code. That is a cheat code right there. We're going to definitely use that. So this one, I'm going to have connect... Where's my... There we go. I'm going to have this connect all the way down here. I want it to be 180 degrees. Thank you. 150 units. And then I think I'm going to... Nope, give me underground. Come on. Don't make me manually select this. I'm going to disconnect here and here, and then also from here. So let's pause the game so we don't have a complete disaster here. Make sure we don't delete the station itself. We can get rid of these tracks here. Actually, I probably could have kept that one. That's just me being dumb. Let's ignore that and move on. So this now is going to be connected here to... Where's my intersection with this going to be? 35. Okay, that's not perfect, but it'll work. That's fine. Then this can get connected here, and then this one needs to connect to here, so we can have this be its own thing. So 180 degrees can be 20 units. And then we can actually have this make a 90-degree turn. And then there's probably not really a good reason for me to be doing this way, but I don't know, I like stuff to look nice. Even if most people will never see it. So that is... I guess that's fine. That'll connect straight to that, so that'll go up here. Then this line can just do the same kind of deal coming up this way. And then this line, I guess, just stays by itself. This could actually go... We could have this go over to the college if we wanted to. Got an hour stream, but did way too much today, and I have a lot to do tomorrow, so got to go. Hey, thanks for being here. Sorry, that was 2 minutes ago. You probably already left, but I appreciate you being here. Have a good rest of your day. Alright, so let's see. If I do 30... I think I can go 20 units here. And I think that is going to connect nicely there. Okay, yeah, so now we have a line going here and here. We have a line going here. Is there another one here? Yes, and here. Alright, and still this isn't connected at all. That's what the outlying trains are for the outlying suburbs. That's fine. This is a farm community. They don't want to do with that, so that's okay. Alright, so now we have to evaluate our subway lines. Or as I should say, the underground blimp lines. That one is still fine going up like that. But number 2, I think, was the one we were going to have problems with. Because that was going... I wish I could just move this somewhere else so I could actually see. Okay, so that's connected to here. And I think it needs to be redone. So I'm actually going to have this one be number 2. So we'll start here. No, come on. Right there. Connect there, connect here, and then go back down and connect on that side. And then this same thing we'll do right here, again over here, and then here. I don't think I skipped any stations. All right, so now we have 2 Metro Line. Oh, these underground blimp things, I swear. Devilish Fun will have me executed if I don't have this set up. They'll all be underground blimps. I can't spell. I am going to change the colors on all of these things. I think the first one can be fine to be green. I just want to have different colors so that I can actually, you know, tell what's what. Then this one, I think we can make it into... Give me a nice orange. Alright, so I think that's going to work. We just have to let it do its magic and see who ends up getting into our tiny little station right here. They should just be able to just go right in off the street with the stairs. How's the weather over here? It is currently 86 degrees. Not too bad. So maybe if the metro is successful, we can have fewer of these articulated buses hogging the entire streets. Alright, so this one is the teal color. Let's take a look-see here. Yeah, people just haven't started writing the line yet, but I think they will, if given the option. What is the humidity? That is a good question. Let's find out. It always wants to open the calendar when I click on the thing. It is 55% humidity. 30 inches of mercury. Low UV index. 10 miles of visibility. Expecting rain around 10 p.m. And then all day tomorrow until about 4. But that means it's not going to be hot. It's going to have a high of 80 tomorrow, but it's going to be really humid. So I actually don't know if that's an improvement or not. But it's something. So now the question is, why is nobody queuing up here? That must mean the bus is still a more attractive option, or this crosstown streetcar that goes all the way up and down. 42. So we really should have more people lined up here. We get a lot of riders on our streetcars. 694. So that is the one that goes all the way, I think, up north-south. Look at this. This is just an absurd amount of stuff. 107. Yikes. When you said 80 degrees tomorrow, my heart stopped, and I remembered it's in Fahrenheit. Yep. Yep. 80 degrees Celsius would be the temperature of my graphics card at the end of a stream, not the temperature of the outside. Well, hopefully you're staying cool. Or trying, at least. I wonder if a crosstown subway line would actually be a good idea between here, here, and here. We already have the commuter rail, but it doesn't seem like that's super popular. 139 passengers. I mean, the people are riding it. It's just not the fastest thing. Alright, so now we're having power problems. Why? We have plenty of production. That shouldn't be an issue. Really should not be an issue at all. So I don't know what could possibly be happening with that. Yeah, this is acting like it's got some sort of huge power problems. So what in the world are you guys doing over here? You guys still have pollen over there? It's July. Our pollen problems here are usually late March. And then everything is yellow for like 3 weeks. It's terrible. At least that means the trees are doing their thing. I didn't think you guys really had that much vegetation to cause problems with pollen. Alright, so the highway is no longer super backed up. This intersection's still kind of a disaster, but it was always going to be. So that's okay. This, what in the world is all... Okay, these are all people waiting to turn here. So this probably being used as a shortcut. Oh, this got disconnected. We need to fix that. Yeah, this needs to be there. So now they can actually connect everything up. And hopefully also walk this way. There we go. Cool. Grass for ragweed increasing to... Okay. Well, yeah, you would have a lot of grass. So let's move that way. Should be able to directly connect now. Good. So if people want to walk on the sidewalk, they can. If they want to go this way, they can. This road probably needs to be 4 lanes. Honestly, but, I don't know. It's probably okay. So what we need to do is we need more commercial over here. We need to eventually at some point make this into an actual park, but I don't think I'm going to have time for that today, unfortunately. Why is the airport not upgraded? Oh, it's because it doesn't have enough attractiveness score. I don't even remember what goes into attractiveness for an airport. I think you just have to add a whole bunch of parked planes. So that's all part of everything. That's fine. That doesn't add any attractiveness. This doesn't either. Airline headquarters. Does the fence add attractiveness? No. Huh. So what's up with that? If none of this stuff actually adds attractiveness, except you want to have a bunch of parked planes taking up space. Alright, well, that's going to be a little close if I do... Oh, okay, I guess not really. So I guess we'll just park a couple of these guys and farm attractiveness points for whatever reason. At least the models slightly change. What is all this? Oh, there's additional ones I can pick from. Okay. These are all the same. 40. Actually, this one probably should go over a little bit. Just kind of space these out a tiny bit. Doesn't look the worst thing ever. Except when the planes just just clip through the back of it. Have to go. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for being here. Alright, so... Oh, okay, they're all waiting for this guy to get out of the way. Is that what this is? Although, I don't know why they're not going over here. That doesn't make any sense. Unless this guy is... Okay, he was trying to leave. Alright, that's fine. Move it mod to push him forward. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. I do appreciate that they have the decorations on some of these for like cargo containers and stuff. Yeah, let's jeez. Let's just push these guys several units forward. Let's try that. Might still be a little close, honestly. But let's see. God, we still need another 160. That's close. That is quite close. Oh, this is actually kind of full. Well, that's good they're using it. Alright, that doesn't look quite as ridiculous having that like that. I guess that's okay. We got large hangers. Do I have any other size of hangers I can stick somewhere? Oh, I have small hanger also. Okay. Let's so why is this just so much space side to side? That doesn't make any sense. If I have this just kind of connect everything up here. Alright, we'll just force that one in there. That's fine. Now that should, yep, automatically up to 3 stars. I think that's the maximum level. Yeah, it is. Alright. So I guess all we had to do is put in a bunch of these weird hangers that don't actually do anything. So what other... So I don't want to increase expenses. We just need to... We just need to get more money coming in. Okay, no, it's coming in. We're just not quite there. Well, as the city grows, more and more people will be coming in. Oh, look at that. Hello? You back up and try again, huh? Excuse me. I guess we just had mind melding or something happen here. It's very, The clearance on some of this stuff is kind of suspect, I guess we'll just say. I want to know why they're not using these gates for the large planes. Instead, the large planes are all coming over here. I don't know, we might never know. Yeah, it is a net loss. I think most of them probably are on paper. So I don't know why. Theoretically, this should be a very attractive option for import-export of cargo. Like, this isn't crowded either. So I bet you a lot of it is still being exported by truck on the interstate, which is probably not what we want. But our commercial traffic hasn't clogged this up in a while, which is good. This area still seems to be kind of a disaster. Yeah, it is. Everything else is looking pretty decent. Outside of this rat's nest. But this is always bad. These people all want to get through this one intersection. That bad, huh? Anyone said the airport looks like a cassette tape? Maybe? Kind of does. Although if they don't start using these plane stands, I'm probably going to get rid of them. And just expand our terminal some other way. Maybe do a little redesign. This is taking up a lot of space. Doesn't necessarily have to. Now this university just does not have enough students, which I think is probably due to how this whole area is zoned over here. But I don't want to put any more housing in because the we can't support anything over here. We have way too many people for the density of this area. Not completely sure, but I think planes are not going towards your 2 circular airport gates is because there needs to be a terminal attached to the main consource. Not just by the metro. Okay, well that would be kind of dumb. But I guess I could see that. The problem is how? How are we going to do that? This midfield terminal, like plenty of airports actually use this design. Well, not specifically with this being round, but the Atlanta airport, they're all completely just islands. And you have the train down at the bottom. I know there's others like that as well. But there's really no way for me to connect this and still have some sort of flow of getting airplanes in and out, which is annoying. It's quite Quite awkward. And I don't think I can actually get it to do what I want it to here. If I just do... Yeah, because it has to be placed on a concourse, which is hard when the concourse itself is set up like this. Because you have to have this be... I think that's straight. I don't know. So I have that go to the middle of this is 13 units. To the middle of this is... Oh, okay, that is straight. But then the problem becomes how close... Oh, is that actually going to work? No, probably not. Because I have... And that just looks weird. Because I have this all hooked up a certain way. I don't know. It's kind of a frustrating design concept. Not really a good way to go about it. But if I were to do that, get out of the underground. If I were to actually have this be completely separated, and how would I even, 'cause this is one-way, the one-way taxiways also really irritate me. This goes in like this, then this would have to, they'd have to just come back around here to get out. I mean, they could get out. I don't know, this, it was a neat idea for them to have this set up the way it's set up, but it's also kind of fundamentally broken. If the planes could have just the intelligence to do two-way traffic on some of these things, it would make layout a whole lot easier. So now you got something like that. It probably is actually better that way. So I think what we'll end up doing, just make all of these into medium stands. Yeah, that's what it's going to have to be. Come on. Snapping stuff doesn't work very well. So now we have the fun problem of all these one-way taxiways to deal with. Which I guess this does work like this, so that's probably fine. That's not perfect, but it does work. So if I were to do from here, just turn on anarchy, and then just do that. I guess that still counts. We'll see. Add a whole lot more capacity. And suddenly all these planes just come out of nowhere. Okay. Alright, let me send this up this way. Can I not? Okay. That'll work. Maybe we should just have a cut through here. Now I'm just making no sense. Come straight through here, then flip that around. Let's see if anybody ends up taking that. Can you force the concourse underground? I don't think so. I've not messed with airlines. At some point I probably will. I don't know if that is a today problem or not. I want to see if anyone's going to use this taxiway here. Because it would have to be the cargo planes leaving. Except these guys are now, I don't know why they're just chilling here. Is he trying to get out in front of this guy, or is this guy trying to leave? Okay, there it goes. He was trying to go in. Are they all seriously trying to get into this one spot? There's 6. Why are you the way that you are? So these guys are all going out this way. I just want to see if they're going to do this or not. So that plane just straight up disappeared instead of taking off. That's annoying. So they're just waiting. Instead of occupying the empty ones, they're just waiting for somebody to leave so they can go in a specific one. Why? Alright, so they're not going to take, they're just going to go this way. Why? All the things that don't make sense. They should be taking this because it's a shorter route. One would think. Instead, they don't. And multiple planes on the runway at the same time, that's always funny. They braked really fast. Oh, that's bad. Well, at least the passenger planes don't try to go through the cargo area. At least that's a thing. Let's see who's going through here. Oh, now there's even less income. Why? Why? We have 175,000 passengers. Or maybe the city's just not big enough yet. That's probably what it is. We're only at 40-some thousand. Hemorrhaging money. This still is a huge problem here, but why? It doesn't make any sense. That's terrible. And now the streetcars are all stopped. Because they can't go down the road. Because they can't get into it because people are in the way. Why are these regular cars going to the bus lane? Get out of here. Your car gets deleted. Because you're driving in the bus lane. Stop it. Cease and desist. This is just a disaster. It was fine for a little bit. But then very much not fine. And I don't know what to do about this. Got no idea. And we don't have enough students coming up here. I wonder if that's because we didn't have any special stuff. See, I've tried banning cars in the bus lane. I don't think they pay attention to it. Which is annoying. What have we actually built? What is this? Groundskeeping. Alright. So I've got dormitories. I've got the study hall. I've already done that. I've already done groundskeeping. I already have that. Outdoor study. Needs to be a place they can go. So that's fine there. It's like the same asset from the other ones. Gymnasium. I guess we can just put a bunch of these somewhere. Cafeteria. We need to just have places for these guys to actually go. I think it's the problem. Do you have a bus line directly to the university? To this one? No. I have a train stop. I actually don't really have any buses at all over here. this is all... so this is what the problem is all the things are color-coded, so I don't know what's what. Ironically, it's probably supposed to actually be better that way. But no, I don't have any buses dropping off up here. I don't have any buses going over here, but this one's always been fine. It has train stuff attached to it as well. And yeah, I mean, it is the intersections. It's just this stuff, these people have to go somewhere. There's just nowhere for them to go. Because there's so much other stuff going on. Although they do have enough students now. I think it was probably just because we didn't have enough unique buildings in. So if we put in more paths to go around places... Probably should have had this come through here already. There we go. Then we can have other stuff connect to it. Okay, that doesn't need to be right there. That can move back a good bit. That also gives us the opportunity to put in some more stuff over here. Now, what did we not... A math club, there you go. Fountains. That's kind of a nice asset to put, like, right here or something. Off the main road. What was this one? Did we already do that one, the cafeteria? Yes. Or did we? No, we did not. Okay, that needs to go over here. Okay, that's fine. And I guess we could have a path coming through here. Move that just a little bit closer. Yes, I'm hemorrhaging money. I don't know how to fix it. It was perfectly fine until we started having 800,000 public transit lines. So clearly that has nothing to do with it. Okay, library. Nice big thing that can go over on this side. What is this? Math club. Yes. Math club. They can chill right here. Commencement office. Now that's something that would normally be in this kind of an area right here. Or possibly over here. That actually looks kind of cool. Right across from the library like that. So there's no power. Are we out of power already? No, we're not out of power. They're just dumb. Okay, I upset the power lines. I actually unchecked the free public transit. It previously was free. So now, hopefully, into this academic year, we get the next level. Now we're hemorrhaging money for campus policy stuff. But we're going to start raking in money as soon as I put all the sports stuff in place. I just have to have somewhere to stick all the stadiums. That was one thing I was going to do. Because we have this giant football stadium that apparently has to go next to a road for some reason. But it's not going to let me... unless I get rid of the commencement office, I can put the stadium here. It's actually probably not a bad spot for it, honestly. So what if I moved that across to here? Alright, bear with me here. Now, can I move this just a tiny bit more this way. It's where it connects directly with the train station. That would be intriguing. I think they probably will get out the other side for that. Or I could just have this shoved back where it's supposed to be. Just have a what do you call it? A path. That's what. So in the US, this is actually very common for a major university to have a football stadium this big. This would probably, if this were a real-life stadium, this would probably seat about 70,000 people. 60 or 70,000. Well, once this is fully built out, this will probably be a couple thousand students. Yeah, we gotta get everything else figured out. They will make a ton of money once people actually come in here. But for right now, I'm going to turn all that off. And we'll see what ends up happening with all of that. We also have we can do baseball. What did we not do over here? We had track and field and basketball. We can put the rest of the stuff over here. Path over the railway. Well, they can just walk. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Yeah, the scale of this is also not completely accurate. If this is a 100-yard football field, which it isn't technically, but if this were true to scale for a 100-yard football field, plus the end zones would be, I guess, 120 yards, this would absolutely be a enormous, huge, high-capacity stadium. Are you talking about putting a path back here? Maybe? I don't know, I just put this in here so I could see if we could make some money out of it. But we don't have, is this even in the campus area? Yes, okay. Off topic, we've seen the MGM Sphere. Oh my god. $2.5 billion. Somehow I feel like that money could have been spent on literally anything else and been better benefit to people, but whatever. I think the guy that owns the New York Knicks is the one that built that thing. I don't know, I haven't looked into it too much. But it's Las Vegas. That's what they do, is they spend insane amounts of money to build weird nonsense. Yeah, this is decidedly not completely accurate sporting facility at all. But, I mean, the developers are not Americans, so I'm not going to get mad at them for not fully understanding how all that's supposed to actually look. So I was looking for... One of these has... That's a high school football stadium. I thought there were a couple bigger ones. I don't remember where those were set in here. That's all Railways of Japan stuff, I think, yeah. Vegas is like what happens when you give a bunch of drunk people a blank check and they just find the weirdest stuff to spend the money on. Ooh, block barks. What in the world is... Okay, that's something we'll play with maybe some other day. Zoos, nature reserve, props. So one of these they had like football stadiums. I don't remember where it was. Was it under here? Walls and fences, trees, content creator trees, vegetation, rocks, water structures. So this is all keys. Why can I not find this? It's not under unique buildings, is it? No. Tourism and leisure? No. Oh. This is like the original football stadium, but that's soccer football. That's beach club. Parking. So I just don't have... I want to know why I can't find this. What is that one? Basketball court. Yep. Okay. Spending way too much effort on this. City park, amusement park, zoo. Props, no. What is this? Park maintenance building. See, all of this is car. I don't know. I don't know why I can't find it, but there's a whole bunch of other stadiums. Supposedly over 80% don't want the new athletics baseball park. Yeah, and probably nobody in Oakland wants to see another team leave either. I really just don't understand why. I mean, I get why, because it's all financially motivated. It always is. But it's just like, really? You got to take something away from somebody else. You can't just make your own new thing. It just bugs me. Okay, so when is this? Oh, it's currently having a match. All right, hold on. Do they even have the correct number of dudes on the field? All right. Okay, well, this is a very weird... I can't tell who's on offense. Okay, this team's on offense. All right. That's not the weirdest offensive formation I've ever seen. But, All right, did this upgrade? Yes, it did. So it has to have 800 students to upgrade before the next academic year. I guess it will. At some point. Yeah, I'm not in love with this football stadium being right here. So that'll probably move at some point. I just wanted to put something in there. It really is really bugging me about not having the other stadiums and stuff. Like, it's not in here. These are all the custom assets and things. Is it under monuments? No, this is all just regular stuff. Yeah, so that's what I was trying to think. Yeah, because like, what kind of formation is this? Like, okay, this would be offense, right? Because you've got your quarterback, then you got like some guy trying to do a jet sweep in the back, I'm sure. But this is just, I don't know. I'm not that up to speed on football strategy. That just seems like very strange stuff. Someone died at the game. Yeah, my integrity and my ability to maintain positive income. So why have they not had someone come get this yet? My question. All these people walking. So, I wonder... Okay, they do actually stop when the train comes through. Okay, that's good. Oh, we won and we got money. So that's cool. Alright, so we can leave that alone for a while. I don't know why this is so bad here. There's really no reason for it. These people are just trying to all go in the same lane at the same time. For no reason. Well, at least we get to watch the subway. That's always fun. Wait, are these trucks? Yeah, they're coming in from out of town. Why? Jeez. What a mess. Like, I bet you half of these guys need to actually get off here or up here. They just don't want to. Suggest to ban cars in the center of the district and build park. I can't. It always wants to... Jeez. I can't scroll chat and stay in the game window at the same time. But it always cuts off part of the message in the lowest spot because of the... whatever the heart icon is. For the live reactions. Now the problem with that is people live here, so you can't really ban cars where people are living. This is only a commercial district, maybe. But the problem isn't really the cars. The problem is everything blocking access to the trams and all these commercial vehicles you also can't get rid of, because then none of your buildings are going to have any goods. It's just why does everything want to come through this one street? That is just weird. So if I have, I mean, I could try to ban cars from this thing, but that's just going to mean people can't get anywhere. So I turned off on this road. For the bus lane, I turned off the private vehicles and trucks. But that hasn't really stopped anything. So if I turn off regular cars on this segment of street alone, is that gonna solve anything? Something tells me probably not. Maybe. This probably honestly should all just be pedestrian streets. But I think we have a bus coming through here, so we probably can't do that. It's just kind of a mess. And everybody and their mom has to be in the bus lane. I don't know why the cops won't go around into the regular lanes. They just have to be... They just have to be in here. I don't want to have to manually ban individual vehicles from the bus lane, but I guess I probably do. Just buses only. I probably don't need to have taxis banned. It's just look at this mess. Like what is happening here? Well, there's not really much I can do about that with lane arrows. I don't have this. This intersection's not lane arrow controlled. Bus lanes with right only, but other lanes show straight on. I don't know about any of that. So this is why at an intersection with bus lanes, the buses are supposed to have a separate signal where they go first so they can clear out before the right turn traffic happens. These bus lanes aren't straight only. You just can't see because there's cars absolutely everywhere. In the center of the district? No, they got right turn. All these have right turns. And this one only has a right turn because it's only right turn. But that's not the problem with the streetcars and stuff. These guys are supposed to come through here and turn around and go back up. No, none of this has weird arrows anywhere. It's just a mire because a bunch of stuff just got stuck at once. I do want to know why this one's stuck here for some reason. There he goes. Somebody just drove right through it. That should not be stuck like that. So maybe it was just one thing got stuck and everything backed up. I don't know. Things like to break in this game. It's like right here, the same kind of thing. What about making a separate exit? Nobody's riding the metro. It's horrible. Okay, well this one actually is getting use. The orange one going up over here. But the things aren't full still. This one, the blue one, almost nobody's riding, which I do not understand. I don't really understand how that's even possible for nobody to be riding this, as much of a pain in the butt as this area is. So I think what we have to figure out, this line is absolutely slam full. And it goes up here, so maybe our problem with this is this has too many vehicles on it, and it still has people waiting. So if we disincentivize this, and like, look, there's 600 some people at this one, at this one stop. These people should be taking the metro. So this tram line has way too many. Way too many. If we go down to 10, that might actually help traffic a little bit. Because those people should be wanting to take the metro. So I can't put another exit here because that would be too close to this one, and the traffic would never get better at all. These people all want to get off here for some reason, instead of coming up here to go to the same spot. God, what a disaster. I don't know why every time I try to do something to this, it just breaks down. But these people should all be riding the metro. There's no reason why they would want to choose the streetcar over getting on here. There's just one thing? You gotta be kidding me. Well, the problem with the separate tram road is they have to have somewhere for that to go, which currently is not really a thing. And they have dedicated lanes. Like, it should not be a problem, because on this street they have dedicated lanes. But people keep blocking it, like hearses and stuff, because traffic is all so bad they can't get through. This is all completely unobstructed except at that one intersection. And then go all the way down here, completely unimpeded. It's just people blocking this intersection up here that were causing, because like, look at this. So that one private vehicle was in the bus lane. Now this could just come all the way down super fast, like it's supposed to. And then it can turn here at the intersection when it's turn for the light. And so look, there it goes. Perfect. Just random stuff just mires intersections for no reason. I don't know why there's so many people trying to get through here. Toll roads don't solve problems, they just cause you to make money from them. I don't think the simulation of the game is deep enough to disincentivize road use with tolls. I think the new one might be, but this one, no, not so much. Have we started making any more money? I don't know how we can only make $3,000 a week. There's so many people flying in and out of this airport. That's what I did, the speed limit stuff. The highway speed limit is currently... This should all be 75, and these local roads are at like 35. So I don't know why they're insisting on taking this instead anyway. It really should not be that big of a deal. But I guess it is. Well, I don't want to get into tunnels. That's just like nonsense. This road network is not bad enough for 43,000 people to be in this much traffic. I think it's just making some really bad choices about lane picking. So now this is kind of cleared up a little bit. I think maybe getting rid of some of the streetcars was the right answer in the end. They're just clogging traffic. But if we can get people to actually take the metro, I don't know why they won't take this one. It just does not make sense. Like, nobody's waiting here. Not one. Now, as far as buses go, we have the these red buses. They're all full, almost all of them. There's 281 people waiting at this stop. Because they're all trying to interface with the subway and everything. What happens if you remove traffic lights with the yield sign? Traffic just stays just as bad. It's just faster. So we did something like that. I guess we probably should set up the automatic traffic lights. It's just, I never, ever understand how this stuff works. So I just want this to be automatic. I don't know how to... Like, somebody told me how to do this. I just don't know, how this is supposed to work. This stupid select nodes thing is blocking the help text. Control click, that's what it was. So if we add all of these to be timed, then maybe that actually helps, I don't know. But this kind of feels like something that shouldn't be a problem in the first place. Yeah, this one intersection is the only way in, only way out, but I also don't have anywhere else for this to connect. I guess I could have this connect to maybe here. Could have this road end up doing something else. So what is this? That's a road with a bike lane. A 2-lane road with trees, with grass. One of these has to have a bike lane. Or is that a 2-lane or a 4-lane road? I can't tell. 2-lane road with bicycle lanes. That's what. So if we have this come up here. See, this really... I don't want to introduce a junction where there doesn't have to be one. So if I put something like this, I don't want that to be at -3. I have that come up like so. I don't want it to have a 90-degree road, but we could have this turn into a something here. 5. So it's going to let me play nice here. Okay, that doesn't look horrible. So now at least this can connect. I don't know who's going to end up taking that. No, we're not doing trucks. No, absolutely not. Get out of here. No truck shortcuts. Private vehicles only. And this probably should be a 4-lane road anyway, but I can't really upgrade that without messing with the zoo. I don't know if I want to get into that or not. But maybe that will help. The time traffic light, I think, should help, theoretically. It just seems to be kind of a mess. %. Well, at least this isn't as bad. This is fine up here. It's had almost no intervention. It seems to still be working pretty well. Of course, down here is fine. Intersections are fine. This is just all backed up here. Now, of course, now there's a huge line of cars waiting to get in here. I think they got stuck because I banned trucks, I'm pretty sure. So I wonder why these cars aren't moving. Or is it because when I set up the time traffic light, this road didn't exist, and now I have to redo it? I bet you that's what it is. Ow. How do I get out of... Jeez. Jeez. How do I remove any of this? I don't know, man. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I just want to get rid of the timed traffic light, but there's no option to do that. But now it won't let me get rid of it. Select time traffic lights, click on the stone, click on it. What do you mean click on remove? There is no remove. There is no remove. Oh, jeez, come on. Can I just talk? Oh, come on. Where is the thing that says remove? There is no remove. Stop? Oh, now that's stupid. It's a bad design. All right. So now let's see what it does. Okay, so that's letting... now they can go. I don't know why that was so hard for them to figure out. I don't know if it needs to be a yield instead of a light. I would think you'd want it to be a light so it can synchronize with all this. One would think. Why are the crosswalks turned off here? Crosswalks shouldn't be turned off. There's no reason why these should be turned off. I don't know why it always wants to turn these off at an intersection with a timed traffic light. City's come along nicely. Bored at work, so I can't stay. I'll watch later. Hey, thanks for being here anyway. We're bad at managing traffic, which is annoying. Theoretically, it should get better at some point. I just don't know what that point is. I don't know, I can't go too much longer right now anyway. I just want to make sure we did something. So this is just a mess. Well, I want to think it's getting better. It just doesn't really make sense. That all these buses, articulated buses. Probably don't need that many either. Why are they not using the metro? They can't all still be on this thing. That just does not make any sense how they would want to take all of the... Maybe I just have to get rid of this tram line. Maybe that's what it is. That is just an unreasonable amount of utility for one transit line. Alright, so if I just get rid of that, just kill the line. That should free up traffic a little bit and should force people to start to take the metro. I would think. Because there's no longer going to be an option to go with a streetcar. I don't know, we'll give it a shot. If you click on a road name, it should show you where all the... Yeah, it does. I know it does that. It just never is very helpful. Because, of course, everything has to go everywhere. There's not really any good way to get information out of that. I don't even know how to get back into that mode, that view. I know at some point I knew how to do that. Okay, that's going back to the depot, that's right. Because they can't get anything. So I think the answer for the streetcars is just to have not go all the way up here with it. Just have local only. But that means it has to have a turnaround somewhere. When in reality, they'll just reverse and go back the way they came. They don't have to actually turn around. Got cabs at both ends. So I don't really know why this game doesn't let you do that. Because this should... It should, operative term, allow you to do that. But I guess it doesn't. For whatever reason. So now let's check and see. Subway. Yeah, now this is going up. And now their alternative has been removed. People are willing to actually wait. Only one person here, though. It should be hundreds of people waiting for this one. $15 people waiting. All right, we're just gonna have to just let them do their thing. I don't have enough room for a turnaround point for the trams inside here. It actually needs a substantial amount of room. That does not fit unless I get rid of the through stations here. So there would have to be another turnaround thing right here, but then that adds another traffic light that these things don't like to interact with. So that's the problem with this game, is that now it's so old that so much of this is just really poorly optimized to work with other stuff. It's like, I can do 5 units on a side. Well, actually, if that's the case, that means I can fit that in there. I didn't think it was actually going to work. Because I kind of wanted to incorporate this stop. I wanted to go between here and here. But this is not in the right spot unless we get rid of the dog park. Forgive me, Devilish Fun, for I have sinned. But if we put that there, then maybe I can put this in. Hello, welcome. I don't know how much longer we're going to be going, because I'm trying being the operative term, to get the streetcars to play nice. So I had a nice... God, this lag. What? Okay, this is turned around. I had a nice route going all the way up here, but too many people were using it, and it was clogging up traffic really bad. So I think what we'll do instead... starting... I guess we can just start one here. This is a bus stop after all. There we go. Oh, it's not going to let me start that there. I guess I have to have that be there. We'll have... Let's have a stop there. We'll have a stop. Can't put it there. Okay, whatever. Have a stop here. We'll have a stop here. Then we'll have a stop here. Do I really want to have another one there? I don't think so. I guess we'll just leave that alone. They'll turn around. Then they'll come down this side. Come down this side, come down this side, and then go back around here. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. So then I have to find that. I think that's this one I just made, tramline 9. Yes. So let's give that a slightly better vehicle for this. 65 single units. We'll call this pedestrian connector or something, just so I can remember that it goes to the pedestrian area. So we should see they're going to have to come all the way from up here out of this thing. That's what all these little single ones are. Got to come all the way down here. But if this actually is going to work, and it should with the single car designs, should be okay. And then we just have the stop there, they get on, and then it goes back. And then, of course, ambulances driving on the pedestrian roads and hearses and stuff. That's fine, I guess. But we should see these things start to come through here pretty quick. Yeah, here they are. So this should be the first one. We'll just follow this guy all the way down. Gotta wait in line. Blimps don't clog traffic? Yeah, but blimps are also a pain in the ass. They're really not easy to set up. And they only hold 35 people apiece. So now the fun part is going to be getting through this. Because there's trucks in the way. There we go. Now they can just fly down the bus lane. So then they'll loop back around. Look at all these people waiting. Look at all those people waiting. This is going to fill up instantly. Just as soon as it actually decides to stop, I guess. It's got to come all the way back up here. All these private vehicles, they should not be able to be in this lane. No, it runs on the train tracks because there's train tracks in the bus lane specifically for the tram to use. I just think it's funny how the everybody and their mom can block the bus lane with no consequences, no tickets written, no licenses suspended. This is just like riding a real streetcar in a city that won't give them dedicated right-of-way. Always have to wait. Always have to wait. So they should stop here, and they do, yes. Instantly full. Yeah, there's a huge mass of people waiting to get on the tram. It's actually so full they couldn't have anybody else get on. Alright, so that's that whole line. Let me click on the X. Come on. Jeez. Alright, so we know that's going to be a success. The problem is when people get in the way of all that. So theoretically, this would be a good candidate for an elevated tram line to go over the road. Or a monorail, except the monorail network's a pain in the butt to set up. And it requires a specific road widths and types that are kind of grating. But if we were in a situation where we could put up a elevated line over on the top of any road without it having to be part of the road network itself, then I think that would probably go a lot better. But this does seem to be working. So we can, I guess, chalk that up as a success. This is, of course, still a mess because everybody and their mom has to go in this line, this lane. Although this one lane right here shouldn't have to be a straight only. It really should not matter. Why can I not automatically set this one up? Huh. Well, I can't ban freight trucks on this road because this is the main road. That would actually make stuff worse. I think the issue is, since the tram lane is in the outside, anyone who's getting a car in or out of these still has to go through it, and there's so much truck traffic that it's kind of impossible to deal with it. Although I don't know why this is a right turn only. This shouldn't be a right turn only. This should allow you to go either way. So it's a very, very strange. So that actually might be part of the problem, is this intersection was limited to turns only for some of the lanes. Cars aren't allowed to turn left. You got to let them turn left because they're going to anyway. Because if they can't turn left, then all that means is they just have to all go here and go all the way around and then turn left again anyway. Well, if I take the buildings off the road, then I don't have a place for people to live. I still have to be able to use it. Supposedly your icon's a different color now? Yes, it is. Appreciate you being here. Pretty much almost the whole time. I think you were one of the first that I can remember. Is this clearing up at all? Maybe. So if I made a bypass road, all that would do would add another node right here, and then traffic wouldn't get any better. The problem is people all want to turn here, and that's not really something you can fix. I think it's just one of those things that has to get unmucked over time. There's still only 24 people riding this. Are you serious? That can't possibly be correct. There should be plenty of people wanting to ride the metro to go here. There's plenty of stuff for them to want to do. Traffic percentage, it's bad. 49. It's almost all right here. Now, forced by proxy up here as well. This area is actually cleared out a little bit because there's not so many trams going through it anymore. This area is fine. There's no stops or anything. Still a little bit of commercial traffic here, but it's not as bad as it was. Now that most of the freight truck traffic is coming down here, or it's taking the highway to get to the airport. Maybe move the old market building so cars aren't stopping and despawning on the road. They're not actually going to this, are they? Yeah, there's not that many people. This is mostly just a like a touristy type thing, I thought. But if we moved this to be, say, here instead, connect it with a path, like it's supposed to be connected with a path. Well, that needs to, I guess that's fine. It's actually too low. Is it? Kind of, I guess. Yeah, people just want to turn right. Could connect it with a path, but I don't know what else we're going to put in there. At this point, this is kind of just figuring out what kind of weird nonsense it's making me go through to actually accomplish anything. Can I raise that a tiny bit? Is that going to look weird on this side? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so let's raise that up. Oh yeah, we got one person walking here. Power lines broke again? What a pain. Oh, come on, man. This thing's gotta go. I also probably should have some sort of redundancy here, but there's the highway in the way. I think that fixes itself. There we go. Yeah, we just need another place for these people to go. There's not really a good additional option, unfortunately. Unless I had somewhere else to have an intersection up here, but I just really don't think that's the case. Why is everything so spread out? That's a very good question. I don't know. This originally started as this tile right, I'm pretty sure. There's this tile right here, and then we got like a couple more. Hubs without subway stops. This one has one, this one has one, this one has one, this one has one, this one has one. These people don't, and it doesn't matter, and these people don't, and it doesn't matter. The traffic there is fine. Then the airport doesn't have interconnectivity, but that also doesn't matter. This is functioning just fine, just okay. We just don't have enough redundant spots to go between places. The streetcar network's working nice, though. It's at 282 passengers. Wow. So I'd say this one's working extremely well. They're pretty full. We probably could have several more vehicles going through. I just don't want to clog up roads. Close to unlocking something. No, I unlocked everything. No, we just kind of bookended ourselves into some bad road design problems because of the way the map's laid out and how I started early game. You probably weren't here when this whole area was completely developed and it looked awful. Traffic was at like 13%. At least the train stuff works. The cargo traffic, as far as import-export, seems to be doing just fine. This hasn't backed up in a long time. This is all free-flowing. Even the traffic in this area is not bad anymore. It's just everybody's got to get in and out of here, and there's nowhere else for them to go. But if there was some sort of other... I mean, eventually I wanted this to come down here and connect to stuff as well. It's just there's a lot of map, and I don't know how to fill up all of it. I don't know. It's kind of breaking my brain. We had this fixed earlier, and then it just got worse again. So I don't really know how to fix it. The problem with the grid is that doesn't solve anything either. You just create more intersections for more traffic all the time. You kind of have to have things connected with the different road hierarchy, and that clearly is not something I understand or am capable of doing. I don't know. That's just a lot. This was working just fine. But it, shit, look at noise pollution too. It's quite bad. But yeah, I think I'm at a loss. My brain doesn't work anymore today. So that might just have to be where we call it a day for this. We got something done, I guess. Maybe. Kind of. I don't know. I gotta take some time and think about stuff. This also might just be a completely fundamentally flawed city layout concept. Self-sustaining, I don't know anything about any of that stuff. That's all like a district properties and things I've never gone into. So if you have, there's one of these. City planning, is that, I think it's like a district style you have to apply. Yeah, the walking only district's fine because there's no cars. It's completely fine. No issues whatsoever. So I don't know, I think my brain needs to just shut off for the rest of the day. But appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully I can figure something out. I want to do a lot more stuff with this game, I'm just not good at it. Which is why I haven't before. I just do this in live stream, so it's not, so I don't spend, I don't know, 20 hours in a week making a video and then it bombs because it just sucks. Like, that would be a huge waste of time. But yeah, we'll figure something out. If it's not meant to be for me making videos in this, that's fine. Whatever. Game will be dead in 3 months anyway. But I did want to try, so we'll see. Maybe I can figure it out. But yeah. Road hierarchy is completely screwed, but there's no way to fix it. Not the way this is laid out. I don't know. I'm not City Planner Plays. I'm not Biffa. I'm not any of those guys. I'm just a dude with a lack of ability to understand how to put roads go to places. But yeah. We'll just call it here. We'll see you guys later. I'll have a video out on Tuesday for Timberborn. And we got that playthrough, I think, will probably be over either Tuesday or Thursday, and then we'll start some new ones. But yeah, have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you being here. See ya.